My name is Robert Feria, and I want to thank everyone for coming out today on Labor Day. I know it's a holiday, like Rick said, but this is important. It's one of the most important yet underappreciated holidays in our nation's entire calendar.
That's right.
You know, today, like Rick said, we stand on Cesar Chavez Boulevard, a man who understood the struggle that so many hardworking immigrants and their families have to face coming to this country and trying to find a better life. There are so many people in the struggle for Labor Day that lost their lives, lost friends and family, who shed blood, sweat, and tears. All that you and I can enjoy things like the weekend, 8-hour workday, making sure that we have respect and dignity on the job, and communities that are supported by one another. And I just want to thank everyone for coming out and let you know that I realize the struggle. It's hard out there for all of us. And as the grandson of immigrants who came to this country, my grandmother came up from Mexico, and she came to California, and she took whatever odd job she could find, basically to support a new family. And when she could do that, she spread that message to others. She took other Latina immigrants into her home. She taught them the skills that she had learned. She gave them a place to live. She gave them a community. And she made sure that they could do better for their families as well. And my grandfather immigrated here from Cuba, and when he came up, he immediately entered the Merchant Marines and supported our country in World War II. So people he didn't even know yet, he stood with them and stood with this country because he understood something important, just like my grandmother did, that all of us have to support one another as working people.
That's right.
To support one another as working people. Things are not going to change unless we realize that they are trying to divide us, to separate us and segregate us, and make sure that we don't have a voice. And that's how they do it, by dividing us.
Right.
You know what? As Latinos, as sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters of people who came to this country, we are still facing a lot of challenges. Challenges from the GOP, candidates like Donald Trump or Scott Walker or John Boehner, who all believe that we are parasites, who think that we should go back to where we came from. We came from here, that's right. We are the people who make this country great.
That's right, everybody.
Yeah. All working people contribute to this, contribute to making this country one of the greatest in the world. The problem is today, it's getting harder and harder for us to do so. What's happening is corporations are legislating their way and legislating influence.
Yeah.
They're taking our money, they're asking us to pay higher taxes. Their corporations pay nothing. Bank of America gets 0% taxes paid to this country. They get tax rebates. What do we get as working people?
Nothing.
Are we given a break ever?
No.
No. How are we going to change this? How can we, as a people, change this?
Vote!
We gotta vote, Rob.
Registering to vote. That's an important thing. And like Bernie said, this is a political revolution. We can't just stand by and let the billionaires take everything.
No, that's right.
What we need to do is get active, get in our political system. We have to end Citizens United.
Yeah.
There are things that we have to fight for every day. And it can't just be one day or 2 days. This is an ongoing struggle, just like it was for our fathers and mothers and our grandfathers and grandmothers. This is a continuing struggle that we have to take part in order to challenge the billionaires and Wall Street and corporations for the right not merely to exist, but to have a living, respectable job, a community that supports one another, and the right to make sure our children have it better than ourselves.
Woo! Yes!
And you know what? Bernie is the only candidate who supports that vision of this country.
That's right. The only one.
The only candidate who supports that vision of this country. His so-called radical ideas, free college, tuition, health care, the environment, making sure it's clean and protected rather than exploited for the profit of the few. A living wage so that all of us can have a respectable job and make ends meet. Where other politicians are demanding more and more from us while giving us less and less to pay for wars abroad, pay for tax cuts to billionaires. Bernie refuses these things. When other politicians are out behind closed doors, talking with billionaires, trying to get their money, closing their doors to the public, Bernie refuses such things.
Right.
Where other politicians fight for the interests of Wall Street and to make the rich richer, Bernie Sanders fights for the people, all people of this country.
That's right.
And there are those out there who question why we support Bernie Sanders. There are those who want to silence the voice, our voice, the people's voice, and merely use us as a bargaining chip in the power play between corporations and Wall Street. We, as a people, must take action. We can no longer afford to sit idly by while these corporations buy our government, and when people like Congressman Castro say things to us that Bernie doesn't reach out to Latinos. Latinos don't understand Bernie. When Congressman Castro tries to dissuade Latinos from learning Bernie's platform, which speaks to all of us as a working people,
Mentiroso.
what he should be doing is supporting progressive candidates like Bernie Sanders, supporting the working
That's
people,
right.
not billionaires and millionaires and Wall Street. So today I call on Joaquin Castro to learn more about and support Senator Sanders himself. He has a strong history of supporting working people in this country, not billionaires and Wall Street. And unlike all other mainstream candidates, Bernie Sanders is the only one who's going to stand with us today. There is a vision of this country wherein all people are entitled to a living wage for the work they do, and wherein all people have a right to free education and health care, and wherein our country becomes strong again by supporting the hundreds of millions of people that make this country work.
Go, Rob.
That's the vision of Bernie Sanders, and that, Congressman Castro, is why we support him.
Yeah.